Hello everyone, this is ASMRallday, and today I'm going to be starting a brand new series. Recently, if you've been following my channel, you'll have noted that I, in fact, have been doing no-sleep stories on Reddit. So, I decided to expand in the Reddit sphere, and I am now going to be starting a creepypasta series as well. I have read a story recently and I liked it, so I commented below and asked the author if I could read their story for my ASMR channel. I will of course credit the author as well as put links to their work and their website as they requested in the description box below. This one is titled Screams. Let's get started. When you look at the many stories that tell the end of the world, you will often find the same words over and over. Words that describe how the world will end. They are the same words we have heard many times before. They talk about the whispers and the whimpers. But those are wrong. We were wrong. Even as I write this, I can hear it. The screaming. Jesus, they never stop screaming. It was a sunny January day when it all started. The day was cold, but the sun was out, having broken free of the clouds of the nights before snowfall. I was at home with my son Jeremy. He was only 5 at the time, and he was playing with his toy cars in the living room floor while I prepared him his lunch in the kitchen. Thus wasn't so unusual for a Saturday routine. I was for all purposes a stay-at-home dad. I had a job, but I had my own office at home. Not a very lucrative job as a tax analyst. God, was it boring, but it paid the bills. My wife of 7 years left when Jeremy was 3, leaving with a coworker to some far corner of the country. She didn't even try to contact me or my son, and I felt this was for the best. It was hard enough to explain to Jeremy why his mother wasn't around, and how I tried to hold back the information. It was simply because his mother had grown tired of her husband's love. As I sat the jelly sandwich in front of my son on the floor, and my own ham sandwich on the coffee table, I noticed that the news was running still from earlier that morning. I always kept the news on in the morning before Jeremy woke up, but usually shut it off before he was out in the living room, as I didn't want him to see what was going wrong with this world. Blame me, call me foolish parent, but I wanted to keep him innocent as long as I could. I sat down on the couch to find the remote when the incoming news report stopped me in my tracks. The volume was low, and Jeremy's constant babble overwhelmed the anchorman until I turned up the volume, the headline catching my eye. "Jeremy, go eat your food in your room," I ordered him, not taking my eyes off the screen. I barely even recognized out of the corner of my eye that he picked up his plate and walked out of the room. We are getting reports that what appears to be a highly contagious disease has now spread across Europe and Asia, the anchorman said in his professional, monotonous voice. Nothing in his voice gave away the dire words that next came from his mouth. There is no news from scientists on exactly what this disease is, and there seems to be no other symptoms other than that the victim being in extreme pain before death. That was about 2 months ago. The disease seemed to slow down when it reached Asia, but soon it had swept through the entire continent and reached the west coast of North America and down through South America. By the time it reached us, we had finally realized exactly what was happening, but it didn't mean we could stop it. People were dying within seconds, milliseconds even. Every millisecond was one estimate. Men, women, children. There was no eyewitnesses that lived long enough to tell me what they saw. So in the end, it was just the people who died that knew exactly what was happening. Presidents and politicians hid, but they were found even in the deepest bunkers or the highest planes. Astronauts perished in space, their screams filling the airways. They, however, didn't die first. They died above where the current outbreak was. If someone was dying in Hawaii and the space station was there miles high above the Earth, they would die too. Animals weren't affected. They seemed spared. or at least the ones not locked up away from food where their owners put them before perishing hours later. Plants weren't affected either. It was just the human race, and this was no disease, the scientists concluded. If the scientists from a place unaffected went to an affected area, they wouldn't die. In fact, they would be alive as long as their home was unaffected. They were completely baffled by this, but in the end, even they too perished from the unseen force. And that's where I stand now. Reports of screaming were coming in from the next city over. I know in minutes I will face whatever virus or entity will visit this household. I put Jeremy to sleep early, but even sleep won't stop the dying. I only pray that Jeremy will be asleep when it comes, and he won't be in pain. I can hear the screams louder now, just down the street from me. I'm trying to write this all down, just in case someone or something will see it. Maybe there are people that survived in remote corners of the earth, or some in the bunkers that we had lost contact with. Hell, even my wife being alive to read this would be fine too. The screams are getting closer. Jeremy, I hear him screaming for me. Daddy, Daddy, I can't come for you, my boy. In a second, I'll be gone too. We were wrong. The world doesn't end with a whimper or a bang. No, it ends with the screams of the entire planet from something we could never fight against because we can't see it or fight it. What is it? We never had ideas, but one thing that still scares me. 7 billion people dying milliseconds apart. That's almost exactly 2.5 months to wipe us all out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. Again, that was titled Screams, and credit will be given to the author in the video image as well as in the description box below. Again, if you have any requests, if you're a creepypasta subredditor or a no-sleep redditor, feel free to leave me comments below of stories you want me to read. If you're an author, you can do so as well. I will start putting my email in the description box if you wanted to email me stories that you would like me to read. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.